Good morning, everybody. Come on in. It's time to get breakfast cooked here today. Hope you all having a God bless Friday. It's actually Friday morning or Friday afternoon. We eat brunch rather than lunch or breakfast. So I'm working on some breakfast. I've already got my bacon cooked, and I wasn't on a video this morning because this is just a very routine, typical bacon grits, yummy good old grits, still cooking. I'm getting ready to do some eggs. Nothing real out of the ordinary for breakfast. However, I did want to talk to you about a couple of things because it was something that I learned from reading the news this morning. And what that is that the son of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., Dexter King, passed away this week. I think it was this week. And his sister, Dr. Bernice King, was speaking. And of course, thanking everybody for their condolences and their prayers. And I ask you, maybe you already been praying, but I'm just asking you to join with me now in a word of silent prayer for that family, or a word of prayer for that family. I've been dealing with death for the last 2 weeks from friends, and impending death from friends. No matter how prepared we think we are, we're never prepared. And we're prepared in the sense that the Word of God tells us that, we all have to go at some time or another. We know that we're not going to live forever, and that at some point in time, but we don't always consider death in its impendingness. We just don't always consider it. We don't try to think about it. Some people, maybe a few exceptions, but I don't. I did not. When any of my loved ones passed away, it was just not one of those things that I could just say, oh, okay, whoever is going to pass away, let's get to it. It's not like that. It comes upon you. Even when you know a loved one has an illness, or if it's a sudden accident, or whatever the case might be. So anyway, Dexter King, as I understand it from his family member, reported that he passed away after a 3-year battle with prostate cancer. And it sort of struck me, and they were talking about, men and their health and in general, and, going to the doctor, checking up on these kind of things. So it sort of got me right in the pit of my stomach. And these are things that we don't always talk about until they hit us, or until something bad happens, until someone passes away from a certain disease, or until somebody's in the hospital or in hospice or whatever. And these days, I don't know if it's because I'm getting older and I'm paying more attention, but whatever the case might be, I find myself in the midst of close friends with illnesses, Alzheimer's, dementia, heart disease. I have heart disease. Whatever things that you have that impede good health. Some people are on good diets. Their weight is okay. Their diet is okay. But we never know, as we've heard probably all of our lives, we never know the minute or the hour or whatever it is that's going to take us out. And certainly, we cannot orchestrate the minute or the hour. We just cannot. Not with any assurity beyond what the Word of God says. So anyway, I was just thinking about health issues. And for me, going to the doctor, getting checked up, that's to help my life be better. I don't think in any way, shape, form, or fashion that I control death, or life for that matter, except how we live our life. And sometimes even how our demise comes about through that life. So I'm just saying all that to say this. For men and for women, go to the doctor, get your checkups, so that, if things do happen to you, that you don't suffer. That's my thing. It's about the suffering through. Now, the suffering is going to come, and God knows that the Word of God shows us many ways how people suffered through things. Even good people, so to speak, had to suffer through things. But it's just one of those things that we have to be diligent and be good stewards over. And I think our health is one of them. You know, of course, what we eat and what we don't eat, and how we look, how we exercise, all those things. And it's more for the living, for the earthly living. Let me just say that, because God already knows. He predestined us. He predetermined what we were going to do. He already knows how we're going to end, how this life is going to be lived, how our life is going to be lived, and how our life is going to end. But for those of us of who are living, we have the opportunity uh, to sort of be good stewards over whatever we have as far as health, good health, poor health, whatever. And there are certain things in place. We have doctors, we have therapy, we have all those kind of things. So if you want to go through life just, being miserable every day of your life, most certainly this wouldn't apply. But if you want to live your best life, and that's what I want to do, because the Word of God also, in the face of all of that, it says that our latter years should be our better years. So that tells me that there is something that we can do that can happen, that our latter years can be our better years in whatever way He means for it to be. And it's our responsibility to live this life in a way that we find out, and all you get an understanding of what God is saying to us when He said that our latter years should be our better years, and that that we would be in good health and be prosperous, all those things. So there are certain things that we have to do. So I'm just saying all that to say this, because I'm going to talk directly to my family, to the men in my family about, go get yourself checked out as far as prostate is concerned. Go get yourself checked out as far as your heart. Tanya and Tony recently, my two children, recently went through a situation with having to have stents in their heart. And they did this after I had my open heart surgery. I didn't have the open heart surgery because I had a heart attack. I was just feeling a certain way and went to the doctor, and my doctor was diligent enough to order specific tests that got me past the point where then I, probably would have had a heart attack. And in other words, my quality of life at that point would have been even worse if I had not gone on when I did. So when I had the open heart surgery and had I had 5 blockages, 3 bypasses, it removed that threat right there, so that I recovered very well, in and out of the hospital within a week, up and moving, and I'm still moving and doing, whatever's going on. I've been checked a few times and being told that as far as that is concerned, my heart is concerned, I'm okay. Got some issues still, yeah, but it still gave me a better quality of life. That's the point I'm trying to get at. I can still get up and go and do and feel at 75. I am still able to do certain things that a lot of 75-year-olds cannot do. And I know I attribute it to the fact that I go and I do my checkups. I take all these pills and try to do what I'm... Now, exercise I'm getting to, and try to watch some of the things that I eat and not eat so much. Just doing some preventive things, whatever I can live with. But I urge you, if your eyesight's bad, go get your eyes checked. If your teeth are bad, go to the dentist and get your teeth checked out. Men, go get that prostate checked. Whatever, at a certain age and a certain time, go get that colonoscopy. And that age, as you know, I think it started out, from what I can remember, when you hit the age of 50, I believe, that you should get a colonoscopy. Now it's down to, the last age I heard was 40. So in this day and time, and all the things that are floating through the atmosphere, things are happening. These viruses are attaching themselves. Just so many things are happening to our health that we have to be mindful of. That we live a better, more productive life here on this earth. In the heavenly realm, God only knows. So I'm just urging you. It's just, like I say, it sort of hit me right in the pit of my stomach when I was listening to Dr. King speak, Dr. Bernice King, when I was listening to her speak this morning, as she thanked everybody, for the condolences, and sort of touched on her brother's legacy and some of the things that they were doing going forward to carry that legacy from Dr. King that her brother Dexter carried on through. So just be diligent about what you do. And, as far as your legacy and your lifelong aspirations and all those things, and she was talking about love within a family, and what I always talk about is making those great memories with your family members and being close to each other. So if you find yourself in your family as a matriarch or patriarch of your family, then it is your earthly duty bound responsibility to try to make sure that among your family members that you stay together, pray together, try to everybody ain't gonna get along hunky dory every day of the week. We know that, but at least make the effort. At least do the things that you need to do to try to make good memories, and your health is part of it. So that was just on my heart to say this morning. And I know there are some of us who are in situations where our family is completely solid. You don't have that to worry about. Some of us are on the way there. Some of us are so far apart. Some people have not spoken to family members for years. Try to fix that. Try to fix that. I mean, I've had a situation, and I do what and it's really difficult when you have those situations going, because you don't know what to do, you don't know what to say, and then we'll say, I'm not going to do it. She ain't called me. I'm not going to call her or him or whatever the case might be. But try to work on that, and I promise you, when you get that fixed, it feels so much better, so much better. So that was my little soapbox for the morning. I'm going to go ahead and get these eggs going and sit back and relax and enjoy me some bacon and eggs and some grits. Hope y'all got something or had something on the stove earlier. If not, for some of y'all, it's probably lunchtime. It's just now. I always call it brunch, because it's more like breakfast time. So we're going to crack us some eggs in this skillet, get them going, sit back, relax, and enjoy this meal. I'm going to have me a hot cup of coffee. And just enjoy. Oh, I've got my son, one of my adopted sons, who now lives in Georgia, supposedly is going to come this way. I'm not sure if he's going to be here today or tomorrow. So I'm sort of excited about that. And I will probably be fixing some more food. I got to cook anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and fix some more food to have on hand. Egg number one. We're going to have some over easies. Get them going. I had to go to the store, y'all, to find me some more brown eggs. I'm just into these brown eggs. They just seem like they just taste so much. These are supposed to be extra large. They're okay, but they ain't that big. So, yeah, it's so good. When family members come to visit, or when they tell you they're coming and you get all excited. It's good to have people that think enough of you to come by and visit. So I am excited today because my son and daughter, Eric and Shonda, are coming. So I'm excited about that. Tony and Tansy, they're here with me all the time. And, I see them all the time, and that's a good thing. You know what? Sometimes we think about family. It's good to have family, to be able to come by and to visit, and for birthdays, for holidays, or just because, or all through the week, or they call you through it. Like I tell y'all all the time, most of the time, when I'm on here recording, my phone's always ringing because it's one or the other of my children or grandchildren. That's a good thing, that you got somebody that thinks enough about you to call you and check on you. And sometimes it's just nothing, just call just to chit chat. And we do this, especially my girls, we do it all the time, But anywho, y'all, just think about your family dynamics. And if you got things going on that you need to fix, please fix them. Make those memories. Because when those people are no longer here, you can no longer fix anything, because it's over. It is over. It's gone. It's done. It's finished. So, anywho, we're going to get this breakfast going, get ready to plate these eggs and grits and bacon up here just shortly. And until I do, y'all hang tight. Go ahead and get you some, maybe you might be prepared, or maybe you haven't had breakfast. I don't know. Go ahead and fix you some breakfast. We'll wait on you. We will wait on you. Okay. Okay, y'all, I got my plate sitting down here at the table getting ready to eat. So remember, pray without ceasing. Do something kind for somebody. And remember, go through your family tree go through your family line, your legacy, whatever. Do whatever you have to do. Get together with your family and make sure that those things are intact. And for those family members who you've been estranged from, need to sit down and talk to. Do it while you can. Don't wait till people get sick and can't do or can't travel, can't go anywhere, or God forbid, pass away. Because once a person passes away, it's too late to make it right. So go ahead, if you got something to make it right, go ahead and do it now while you can. And while you're at it, make some good memories so when those people in your life, if they go before you, that you have those things to look back on, to look forward to sit when you're missing them and think about those good times. So don't let this opportunity pass. Today is the day to do it. Yeah, today is the day to do it. Mend any fences that are broken, rebuilding the bridges. I told someone the other day, wasn't a family member. In fact, someone I had recently met. I don't like to burn bridges. I like to rebuild. So if I see a bridge that's getting ready to collapse, I walk on across it, let it collapse behind me in case I have to go back and help to rebuild it. Because starting all the way over again, it's kind of rough, y'all. And as we get older, it gets tougher. So do what you can to mend fences, rebuild relationships, uh, renew old acquaintances, and of course, the ones that are going to bring you pain and misery, know how to walk away from them and leave them alone. That's the other thing, too. So it's not just all about being able to build and mend. It's also about knowing when to walk away from certain things and get it right within yourself. Because guess what? We cannot control anybody but ourselves, and we don't sometimes do a very good job of that. So give it to the Lord, pray about it, do what you have to do. I mean, like I said, in the last 2 weeks, I've seen more devastation and people, just out there and just wondering what to do, how to do, than I have the whole year. So it's just something about that this time of the year. I don't know what it is, but just all of these things we were talking about the other day, these things at the first of the year, so many things have gone on. Um, watch over your children, pray over your children. And, sometimes they don't want to hear what you got to say, but pray anyway. Pray anyway. Sometimes we say, well, I was so upset I couldn't pray about. Pray anyway. Remember what the Word of God says, when you've done all you can do to stand, stand. Just stand. Remember that Donnie McClurkin song? When you've done all you can do to stand, stand anyway. Because that's what it's going to take to carry us forward in this world during these times that we're living through. Because you think about all the wars and the political things that are going on, the things that are going on in schools, the things that are going on in our families. Just think about those things. And please remember always to pray without ceasing. Listen, guys, I'm going to go ahead and eat my food before it gets cold. Thank y'all for stopping by. And remember, pray without ceasing. Love you. Toodles.